Oh my god, you won't believe what I've just found on eBay. I'm going to have to withdraw some petty cash and buy this.
Darren, this magnificent feast here is the last of the petty cash.
Slow down. Chew your food.
The last of the petty cash went down the drain for Twinkies and coffee and a busted chain. No more donuts, no.
Hello, welcome to the last of the petty cash. My name's Darren McQuade, the Magic Ghostbuster, and this is the magnificent
Chris Carter from the Spirit of 84.
So, we've got quite a bit to talk about today. We're going to be talking about Ghostbusters Day, we're going to be talking about Funko, we're going to be talking a little bit about Star Wars, and we're going to be talking about what we've bought recently. Where do we begin? Should we start with Ghostbusters Day?
Ghostbusters Day, I think, is a good place to start.
That is the thing that we all look forward to. You're definitely going next year, aren't you?
100%.
I am sort of maybe 70% at the moment. I just need to see when my money is and all that after Christmas, but very much hope to. Well, I hope to be over there as Vigo if the weather is
and we'd like, we would really like to be over there with our presents from the last of the petty cash. So,
yes, if we do manage to both go, we'll definitely be doing some sort of video or
or
something over there. But they've announced a date, which is the 6th of June. I think it's important for people to realise that they basically go to the closest Saturday.
That's right.
For Ghostbusters Day. For the 40th, it was perfect because Ghostbusters Day itself is the 8th of June. It's always the 8th of June, so that's never changing. But it confused a lot of people this year when Happy Ghostbusters Day is being posted twice. And people were going, no, it was yesterday or whatever. It's, they have to obviously work around the firehouse. Saturdays are generally easier for people. The 8th of June next year is a Monday. Most people are working and all that, so it has to be the Saturday before. So treat it as almost a way of celebrating Ghostbusters Day twice.
I think
the way I would look at it.
I think the guys at Buffalo are sick to death with me because I was since June this year. I've been texting them going, okay, let me know the dates, because I'm a planner as regards getting this together for the group and for everybody and a few of the friends. So I like to get it booked as early as I possibly can. I've got a preferred hotel and I've just got a preferred courier that we use as regards to get us to the States and back. So the sooner I can find out the dates and that and start to work out how much it is. It has gone up a little bit since we went 2 years ago, and it's also gone up a bit since this year. I think that's to be expected.
Yeah, it always goes up.
Everything is going up. Nothing's cheap. You could risk leaving it till the last minute and hoping to pick up a last minute bargain, but I think you would struggle, to be honest. It's not so much the flight situation, but more the hotel situation. And really, I've learnt to sort of get yourself a good hotel in a nice part of New York, and that makes your trip a whole lot better. Yeah,
being close to everything.
Centralising yourself, but being far enough out, you don't have to put up with all the nonsense. So fingers crossed that it works out for both of us. And it'd be interesting to see what they do, because it's funny because obviously this year's one I thought wouldn't be quite as. They wouldn't probably as organised as much as they did the previous year, because the previous year was the 40th, this year was the 41st, and yet it was arguably, I don't know if it's bigger in terms of attendance, but bigger in terms of what they organised, because you had Jason Reitman and so on there. We had Jason, Carey, McKenna, Joe Cirillo, Adam Murray, the Alessi brothers. It was we had Eric Wright from Ghost Corps there. We had the Yes Have Some party. We had the guys from Yes Have Some. It was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do this year, and especially when it comes to merch, which we do have some recent merch from the Buffalo Ghostbusters sitting on the table. So last couple of years they've done coins. They did a coin for the 40th, and they've done one this year. So they decided to go back and do coins for the previous 3 years that they did it.
Retrospective coins. So these are really, really nice. I know I've always tried to help fund and support them with everything they've done. So, you know, when these coins come up, because I bought their shirts, I bought their patches, etc.
There's no way you were going to pass on these.
No, so...
And really nice coins. So you've got, which is the first one?
That one there.
This one. So, Ghostbusters Day 2022.
Oh no, it's not. This. What one have we got then? So sorry.
Yep, sorry, we're getting confusing ourselves. That's 2023, I think.
Right, so I've got 2021. So this was the year that they fundraised for the sign for outside the firehouse, and it all started with a sign.
Yeah, so it all started with a sign on one side, and then the other side is the GB2 sign, because they have the original GB2 sign at the firehouse, which I think they hung up outside every Halloween, didn't they?
Yeah, occasionally,
Did they hang up outside for GB Day? I don't actually remember if they did.
I don't know they did.
But it was broken, wasn't it?
Yeah, so the fundraiser for this one was obviously, you know, the merchandise they sold, t-shirts, etc. There was also the opportunity to pay, give them a donation towards a sign, and originally it was going to be the Hollywood Collectibles sign. Yeah. And they've got a name plaque inside, and you could get your franchise or your own name put on the name plaque, and that is actually in the firehouse. So I was fortunate enough to do that for the Spirit of '84, and I done that on behalf of everybody. And then they decided that, as great as the Hollywood Collectibles sign is, because both myself and Darren own one of these, that they could go one better. Yeah,
and I'll be honest, as much as I love the Hollywood Collectibles sign, I wouldn't trust hanging up outside a fire, not that I own a firehouse.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't trust it to. Not yet. One day.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't trust it outside long term.
No.
Yeah.
It's not designed to be hung outside.
No.
It's a sign for in your home if you've got the space. Yeah. It is a beast of a sign. Don't get me wrong, but when you hold it up compared to an original sign. They're not.
And it's that typical thing where they say this is life size,
1-to-1, and it's not.
And we've seen that before with terror dogs and things, haven't we, from Spirit and all that, where, you know. But anyway, going off on a completely different tangent. Should we carry on with this?
Yeah. So that was number one.
Yeah.
Number two is what Darren has.
So I've got number two, and this is June the 4th. So again, just going by. Obviously, they go with the nearest Saturday. This has got the GB1 sign on, which is obviously the sign that was fundraised.
Sign which was fundraised,
And then the back has a nice image of the firehouse, and it's got Ghostbusters Day 2022, New York City, June 4th, 2022. And again, really nice coin.
Yeah. And the final offering, with three that's, although obviously there's a couple more that have come since, was Ghostbusters Day, June the 10th, 2023. And this played on the Ghostbusters 2, it's slime time. So on the front, they've got the hot beverage thermal mug. Yeah, with the Ghostbusters 1 and Ghostbusters 2 logo. The Ghostbusters 1 with the green slime, Ghostbusters 2 with the pink slime, and these were also a patch and also balloons. So, and on the back it says it's slime time in the pink and the green. As I say, these were great, really, really good. Good money.
Can't argue with that. And I don't know if they've still got them for sale, but
I don't know. There might be some, but I wouldn't swear for definite. So
it doesn't hurt to send them a message just to ask. And I think all their merch has been good. I mean, they've done the little Ghostbusters Day pamphlets. They've done the Ghostbusters Day album. They've done the poster last year that you got signed.
Number plates.
Number plates, ladder 8 number plate. Sure, there's going to be something.
T-shirts.
And Hook and Ladder do their own T-shirts on Ghostbusters Day every year that always sell out.
Yeah, and
you have to be there to buy it.
Yeah, and they're brilliant. And that's the problem you have when you're at Ghostbusters Day. Suddenly you realise you're more popular than you thought, because everybody's messaging you trying to get something.
Yeah, it's funny how many friends you
suddenly, I'm in New York, I've got more friends than I had yesterday.
And I think if you are going to do that, just understand it's people's holidays. They take to go out there, and people have limited time, money, space. And also, we've been asked by people before we've left. So Chris kindly sorted me out and some of his friends this year because I couldn't go. I sorted some of my closest friends out the previous year. You know, and there's only so many people you can help out. So if we do say no, it's not we're being horrible. It's just
you can bribe me with Twinkies though, and I might.
I said I don't like Twinkies, so you can't bribe me with Twinkies.
Yeah. So yes, so Ghostbusters Day. We're going to wait and see. Buffalo, great bunch of guys. Really are lovely. Very friendly, very welcoming. Work extremely hard and raise a colossal amount of money for Hook and Ladder 8. And it's you know
they raise an insane amount of money. I mean, I was looking at that Ghostbusters Give Back thing. If you don't know, the Give Back thing, it's a thing they rang in America where all the groups, you know, I think the highest group gets a patch or something, is it? I can't remember exactly, but they are so far ahead of everyone. It's almost like they should have just been in their own category because it's almost like not a fair competition.
Yeah, it's a funny old situation. The Ghostbusters Give Back. I think me and Darren have discussed it a few times. We like the idea, a little bit of healthy competition, but I do worry where that's going.
Yeah, because my main worry was it might have led to jealousy and some spiteful, which I haven't seen too much. I did see some people complain because a screen used trap from Frozen Empire went up, from Afterlife, sorry.
Afterlife, yeah.
On auction that was, I believe, was gifted to the LA Ghostbusters from Sony.
From Sony.
And then they've auctioned it off and it raised a good chunk of money. I think it was about $5,000, I think it finished.
Yeah, that's right, about 5.5, yeah.
And I did see a couple of comments like, it's unfair that they've been given this and other franchises are not helped. And it's hard to argue against that, in fairness. It's like everyone should really get their help when it's being done as a competition. Ultimately, the charity is the one that wins, so it's all good. But I do get where those comments come from as well.
I will say the LA Ghostbusters and that they've been doing for many, many years. They've been supporting I think it's the Starlight Foundation.
Yeah, they have.
So do you know what? Fair play to them. All right, they deserve it. All right, there's lots of groups that and let me say, this is from me. If this is going to happen in the UK. If you raise £10 for a charity or you raise £10,000, it doesn't matter, all right? Yeah. It really doesn't, because with all charities, every little thing or every small donation you make does make a difference.
Yeah, and ultimately some people are going to be in a position to do more than others. I mean, we're quite lucky within our circle on the South End Ghostbusters. We're pretty sought after for conventions and the big conventions. So, that probably would give us a slight advantage over groups that maybe can only get in the small convention, or some groups might not even be able to get into a convention because they're already taken. So, like you say, it doesn't matter how much you've raised. And I actually would have liked to have seen it as less of a competition and more of, if you raise X amount, you get a patch, rather than the gold, silver, bronze, whatever. I think it would have been a nicer way to have done it.
I agree with that 100%, because I think we also saw this with the playing cards that Buffalo Ghostbusters done.
Oh, yes.
Where you got people to vote for you, and how many cards in a deck? 52, is it?
52, but so yeah.
Two Jokers, was it?
And two Jokers. I think the Jokers were limited to sponsors, wasn't they?
Right. So basically, we saw this whole scenario where people, the FOMO about getting your franchise onto a card.
Yeah, and I saw, I'm not going to name anyone, but I saw some where that wouldn't have slowed down the rankings in terms of votes, were then trying to blag their way into it, like, we deserve this. It's like, you make yourself look bad when you go that route. Just accept it for what it is.
Yeah, and there was a good splattering of UK, European and American groups. So we was all represented, I think, pretty well across the board.
Which was nice to see, because I did think like we'd end up with like one UK group and like mostly American, and it was nice to see. Like I said, I think we had about 7 or 8 from the UK?
At least.
I think. Yeah. So, very nice.
And we had some real high rankers, like, I think, way up the table with,
Yeah, absolutely. So. And if you didn't get on it, it's not the end of the world. Ultimately, it was for charity. It wasn't an official deck or anything.
It was supposed to be a bit of fun, I think, and people got a little bit...
Yeah, and ultimately, if you can have your own playing cards made. In fact, I have had my own playing cards made before that deck was even a thing. So you know, I guess being a magician, I would have done that. But
so going forward, that's as I say.
I mean, I haven't spoke to anyone from Buffalo about that, but I can imagine that might have been a bit annoying for them.
Yeah,
I bet they were getting some messages like, "If I slip you a tenner."
Yeah.
I bet someone sent them a message like that.
Yeah. Anyway, so Ghostbusters Day. So hopefully we'll get to see you. Hopefully Darren will be raking in the money over the Christmas season, and he will be with me.
Yeah, and in fact, I'll tell everyone my video idea.
Yeah.
In case I do make it. So if I do go, my plan is to wear the Vigo costume, but it's very weather dependent because the year we went, lovely weather. Yeah. And then the year you went, it absolutely just
tumbled down.
And I wouldn't be wearing a Vigo costume if that's the case. It's not worth getting that leather ruined.
Yeah.
But my idea is to do a video outside the museum, which is very much based on the end scene from Avengers Endgame. So if you haven't seen Avengers Endgame, skip the next couple of minutes.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah. So there's this scene in Avengers Endgame where Captain America is standing up against Thanos, and Thanos got his army behind him, you know, and he's ready to battle. And then suddenly all these portals open up, and all the Avengers come back. All the ones who were dead previously or in other locations all come back. So my idea is Vigo on the steps of the Manhattan Museum of Art, and maybe one Ghostbuster or a small selection of Ghostbusters standing there about to face off. They've got no chance of beating Vigo, obviously. And then suddenly Ghostbusters just come from every direction. You've got like 100 Ghostbusters there. And then of course Vigo would still beat them all.
No.
Oh, right, okay. But
I was liking it when we had the 100 Ghostbusters. I was liking it. But,
have you seen that? There was this weird trend going around social media a while back, and it was like, I think it must have been an AI or some sort of computer generated thing where it'd be like 100 man versus one gorilla, and it'd just be all this. It was silly, but I'm just thinking something like that now. Vigo beating all these Ghostbusters.
Okay.
Moving on.
In other news, we'll just touch on a couple of little bits very quickly. So a lot of you out there will have heard of young Owen Cadet Wilkes. He was recently supposed to do a parachute jump. Due to the weather being quite bad and his mother Gemma packing the wrong thing in the rucksack. Yeah, it was a flask and sandwiches, not a parachute. Yeah. They had to cancel it, but you don't want to pull that cord and that flask and your sandwiches come out. So that's now been rescheduled till February time. So good luck with that, Owen, and we'll keep an eye out for that one. So I think you can still donate to his calls and that. So give that a look at.
Yeah, cool. All right, so should we do pickups?
Yeah, let's do some pickups. Yeah, because we're.
I mean, the postman knows us all by name really at this point, doesn't they?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the doorbell to go now because I'm still missing some stuff, but never mind. Do you want me to go first quickly?
Yeah, okay. Go first.
So, very briefly, Darren's got one of these. I didn't, and it is the Halloween Horror Nights from...
Is it 2019?
It's 2019, Darren. And it's the Scream Team t-shirt.
Yes, this is the one that's worn by their crew. Yeah, very nice.
It's an amazing image, isn't it?
Yeah, I love the artwork they done for last year's Halloween Horror Nights. But out of the two, I think I actually prefer slightly the artwork from the previous one, 2019. And I mean, it's a lovely image. It's got the two terror dogs, the library ghost, Ghost Trap, Slimer. Yeah. And even like the slime coming out of Slimer's mouth has this kind of slimy effect to it. It's such a lovely t-shirt.
Yeah.
To make me think I need to dig mine out and wear it actually.
So I picked that up really cheap on a well-known auction site, or selling site I should say. So that saved me paying any import duty for America. So I'm really pleased with that. So
always good.
I think it was about £20. So I was really pleased.
Yeah, can't argue with that. I think I bought mine back in 2019, I think. I probably paid double that. So, yeah, bargain.
So this was something Darren gave me a heads up about. Now, a lot of you will remember this company. Okay, this is Treewar. I think they're called.
Yeah, Triwa or Triwa.
Yeah, okay.
Triwa. Yeah, you probably said it right.
So they manufacture watches, and they're sort of ecologically sustainable watches and that. So they done a Ghostbusters tie-in, which was last year.
Yeah, I believe it was last year.
Yeah. They were not particularly cheap.
No.
I think
you were looking at a couple £100 a watch, roughly.
At the time, yeah, and that's not a pun. So they're a really nice watch. They come in a few different designs. This is the green.
Yeah,
the green, olive green version.
And there's a black version, and then there is another couple in the same colours, but I think it has a different outer part.
Yeah, different outer dial.
Yeah, really nice watches.
And they are currently available on Amazon. And they are silly cheap.
One was 25, one was 30. I can't remember which one was 25 and which one was 30 now.
So this one was 25, the green one.
So the black one's 30.
The black one is 30.
Just bear in mind, you know what Amazon prices are like. That may change by the time this episode airs. They might be cheaper, they might be more money. But these actually, because these popped up on eBay first for 50 quid each.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's the same seller on Amazon who's got them. So, but yeah, at that price, I jumped on them.
Yeah,
you know, definitely. And then said to you, jump on them as well.
Jump on them as well, yeah.
Can't say no for that money, especially when they were. Because I never would have paid 200 quid for these.
No, definitely not.
You know, they're nice watches, but I don't think they're 200.
They're not 200 quid's worth.
No, but 25 quid. I might actually end up buying another one just to wear.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah. So last thing, very, very quickly, and I mentioned this on Ghostbusters Spirit of 84. Both obviously myself and Darren, obviously big collectors. Display cases and lighting are always a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
When you have multiple display cases or lots of areas to try and light and give yourself good lighting, it's difficult. It's so difficult because obviously you're relying on power sources, trying to get leads to things, and I know I struggle, immensely. So I've been looking at these for a little while on Amazon, and these are an LED strip light. Now I don't want to blind anyone, but they're really, really bright.
Yeah, put your sunglasses on.
That's it. Yeah. So there, you see. So these have a room sensor. So when you walk into the room, they turn themselves on automatically. They sit on two magnets with this amazing sticky pad thing that sticks to the inside of your cabinets. You can put them anywhere you want. They unclip from the magnets. They recharge with a USB charging point. So no more batteries, which is amazing. They also last 4 to 6 weeks on a single charge. They're not going to be on unless you walk into your room and then the sensor picks you up and they light up. So I've lit quite a few of my cabinets with these already, and what a difference they make. They make so much difference. They're great value for money. You get 5 of these for £29.
Can't argue with that.
Which I think's pretty good value. You also get a remote control, so if you don't want to use the room sensor and you just want to click the remote control when you walk into your room, they light up the area within your room that you want to, and you can change the brightness setting on the light as well.
Wonderful.
Absolute bargain. I know it's not Ghostbusters related, but it's related to the collector.
Yeah, certainly collecting related.
Yeah, so best thing I've found light-wise for a long time.
Yeah, and that's what, from a collecting point of view, it's something a lot of people don't ever really talk about, is actually the display side of things. And, you can spend quite a lot of money just buying cabinets and things.
And lights, you can have the most beautiful cabinet, but if you haven't got the right lighting in it, then it's no good, is it? Yeah,
absolutely. And, there are dark areas in all rooms, really, isn't there? It's hard to see.
Right, Darren, on to your pickups, please, because these look pretty exciting.
Right, so this is something from Vinted. This is a really nice plush Stay Puft, and this is actually from Germany, from the 5D ride that they did over there from the theme park.
I like that.
Yeah, and I just think it's a really nice. And I think I paid about a tenner for that.
That is a nice Stay Puft.
Yeah, and I just saw the picture of it on Vinted scrolling through, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen that particular one before. And and then it's got the tag. yeah, really like that. So I don't think there's much more I can say about it. Is it plush, Stay Puft?
Yeah, but a good one.
Yeah. This was another vintage thing. So this is the Remco electronic arcade game, and this is actually a massive rarity. So they've done two LCD games. They've done the pinball machine one, and this. The pinball machine one is rare in itself, and this is actually rarer. Now, I think I paid £60 for this, and jumped at it for that, because it was advertised as working. Of course, when it arrived, I've opened it to put batteries in, and I mean, the rust. I mean, on the battery clips is just ridiculous, and didn't work at all. Now I'm going to give this a good clean to see if I can get it working. Vinegar. Yeah. Vinegar is the normal one for cleaning contacts, battery contacts. So. Yeah. So I'll see if I can get it working. But so I obviously messaged the seller, and they did give me a massive discount. I think I paid 20 quid for it in the end. Maybe 25 posted. And if it doesn't work, you know, I'm happy paying that because it's still a display thing. You know, not the best condition box, but. You know, it's better to have one than not have one. Yeah, no, it's a great item, so yeah. Yeah. The only other thing I've got, which is something you showed me actually a few years ago now, is these string lights, spooky mood string lights. I think they're made by Gemi. Is it Gemi? Yeah, Gemi. And play the Ghostbusters theme, and I just like the movement in the mouth. So I don't think the camera picks it up so great, but I just think they're great.
Yeah, my wife bought me a set of these, and yeah, they're really cool. Yeah, and it's eight ghosts, I think. It says 2.5 meters length, and and the lights and the mouths move, which again, not the sort of thing that gets picked up from the camera great at a distance. But yeah, just really liked it, and they come up quite cheap on eBay. I think I paid about 25 quid posted. Yeah, that is cheap. So I think Amanda paid quite a little bit more for them when she got mine. So.
Yeah, because I think when you showed me it, I went home and had a look, and I think they're out of stock everywhere, and the places that were selling it was like sort of 40, 45 quid. So yeah, very happy with that. Yeah. So, just moving on from Ghostbusters slightly, we've just, the Force Awakens episode 7 of Star Wars was 10 years old this month, which it just makes me feel really old. Yeah, I thought it was worth mentioning because we're both Star Wars fans, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners and viewers are Star Wars fans. It's the sort of thing that people of our generation grew up with. So I think even if you're not a hardcore fan, it's probably something most people are aware of. And yeah, what did you think of The Force Awakens?
I've got to be honest, it was the first time in a long time where I've been to the cinema. We went opening night to Leicester Square, and the atmosphere was electric, and I've never seen so many people excited for a film. We went in, and when the opening credits come up,
cheering,
everybody cheered and clapped. When the film finished, everyone was on their feet clapping, and I've not experienced that since I was a kid.
No, and it's funny because obviously the state of Star Wars and Disney is different to what it was 10 years ago. Yeah. I don't think Force Awakens is now remembered as a good film. I still think The Force Awakens is a good film.
I like it.
And it was remembered very, there was obviously some negative reviews about it being a New Hope reboot. Yeah. But generally it was well received back then. But then I think because the second two were much less received. Yeah. I think now people look back on that and go, it's rubbish or whatever, and it's a shame because I did actually enjoy The Force Awakens very much, and I think the whole state of Disney in general was different back then. Like, I know it's very trendy to shit on Disney nowadays, but back then Disney was not. They were hitting it out of the park every time with Avengers movies and all sorts.
Yeah, I mean it has become a little bit of a. Don't get me wrong, it's always been a money-making machine, but even more so now, I think. I think they got to a stage slightly where they think that whatever they put out, you're going to like it and you're going to watch it, and I don't think that's the case at this moment in time.
No, I don't think it's the case at all now, and it's a shame because, like I said, I enjoyed it, and then it just sort of went downhill after that for me with The Last Jedi, and ironically, I actually worked on The Rise of Skywalker. And
so excuse me, because my terror dog is up to no good.
What's he doing? Is he trying to get into my, bag of bits?
Yeah, he's going into Darren's bag of bits. There's going to be some few eaten collectibles. So.
Yeah, that's right. He's nicked my dog treats. That's all that matters. Yeah. I think there's a milk bone in there.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I actually worked on the Rise of Skywalker, and you can see me for about 2 seconds in it. But even that, I think I watched it once in the cinema.
Yeah.
And after that, I was a bit like, ugh.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. It is a shame because I still maintain Force Awakens was a good film. But and do you know what never made sense to me? Obviously, Carrie Fisher died before The Last Jedi came out in the cinema. Why did they not delay it and reshoot or re-edit to kill her off in that? Because they had the perfect moment when she was blasted out of the ship and you had that whole weird Mary Poppins scene.
Yeah.
They could have just killed her off then and then kept Luke alive or changed some bits. Delayed it 6 months. It's not like they haven't delayed films before.
No, it's strange because literally we went to watch that one. We walked out of the cinema and our phones bleeped and it was to announce that Carrie had passed away. You know, so yeah, it's very...
Yeah.
It's
a shame, but yeah, I don't know if I can say much more about Star Wars. Just can't believe it's 10 years old.
Yeah, that's it. Time goes by so quickly.
Yeah, it certainly does. But yeah, so I think the other thing we're going to talk about is Funko.
Yeah. So as this podcast has been recorded today, I've just come off of. I will give them a shout out to Geek Dad, and listening to the podcast going into work this morning, they was discussing the state of Funko. For those of you who maybe are not aware, Funko also own Mondo.
I'm sure they probably own other companies we can't even think of at this point in time.
So they've been losing money hand over fist for quite some time now. I would say the Mondo arm of things is making money without a doubt. I mean, it's we're in the whole scenario with Funko Pops, where the market is at saturation point.
Yeah, and I mean, I think anyone with a brain could see this coming years ago, really. I mean, you couldn't go to a convention without seeing just every other store is just a wall of Funko Pops. You go into Smith's Toy Shop, there's a wall of Funko Pops. And it was like they were on... I think a lot of people compared Funko to Beanie Babies.
Babies, I was going to say, Ty.
Massive thing back in the day. Yeah, and Beanie Babies still exist, but on such a small level. Nowadays, and yeah, they just oversaturated the market. I think they just were doing too many things. I mean, I had a couple of friends who were hardcore Funko Pop collectors. They would pretty much buy any Funko Pop. Didn't matter what it was, and it got too much. And they had to stop. And I think when they stop, they don't just think, oh, I'll just buy the odd ones. They just stopped, sold it all.
I think that is the situation. That was what happened with Beanie Babies and Ty, was people couldn't keep up with it. The moment you can't keep up with your collecting, it's a troublesome place to be, isn't it?
Yeah, and some people think, well, if I can't have them all, I won't have any.
Won't have any,
And so I think, they think they're probably going to make loads of money by making 1 billion Star Wars characters or whatever, I think it's actually doing your company harm, and you could say, what do I know? But they are struggling. So.
Yeah, I mean, we've all bought. I mean, me and Darren have definitely bought our fair share of Funkos, especially the Ghostbusters related stuff.
Yeah, I only really have the Ghostbusters. I'm going to be honest, I don't really like Funko Pops.
Yeah.
Like, I have the Ghostbusters ones, but to me, Funko Pops always looked like the sort of toy where, like, we can't get a license to it, so let's just make it look as close as we can.
Right.
That was what I always viewed a Funko Pop as. Obviously, but they did get the license, because there was actually a company before Funko Pops that did something similar.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it, but they did do some Ghostbusters ones.
Daubs, was it?
No, it's not Daubs I'm thinking of.
Right.
I think it might have been called the Winnie Cons or something.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, Winnie Cons.
Yeah, they had I'm sure they've done A-Team and a few different things like that. They weren't licensed, and arguably probably looked more like the characters than the Funko Pops did.
Yeah, no. So obviously it is worrying, because obviously listening to what I was hearing today, they're saying what's the chances of Funko still being around by the end of 26? Obviously, that's a bit of a worrying state of affairs to be in. But I say, especially when they own a company which we so love, like Mondo, because Mondo is the other end of the spectrum as far as their collectibles and what they produce.
It's like the complete opposite of what you would class as a Funko product almost. And I could actually imagine there's some people who are surprised to hear that Mondo is even owned by Funko. Yeah, because you wouldn't think it unless you knew it.
No, but like everything, sometimes you need a bigger company to take you to that next level. As regards their success. And to believe in you a little bit when you come up with these ideas. Excuse me. Also, we Loungefly as well.
Yeah, Loungefly. And again, I think that's a market that has been oversaturated. You go to like a HMV or something, there's just so many Loungefly bags now. And I think sometimes you can give people too much choice. And you're producing too much stuff, and then and then a lot of it just sits on the shelves.
The problem, me and Darren discussed this prior to coming on the podcast today, and that the other problem we have with this is in the event that we're not knowledgeable enough to know the situation as regard. We're just listening. We've got our ear to the ground, listening to what's being said.
Yeah, because ultimately, no podcaster really knows the exact ins and outs.
Of any business. I think that every business is having difficult times, Hasbro, etc. You've only got to look at some of the, the Hasbro sort of, the funding options and things like that. Not all of them are making their targets,
no,
are
some
they?
of them are not.
I know the Tron one's been struggling with its. These items are great, and I do understand that the companies need to fund these somehow, and the only way is to crowdfund them as such. But the worrying thing from my point of view, as I said to Darren earlier, was if Funko are in trouble and Funko was to disappear off the market, it's not just the fact that you lose a company. You've also got to think back to what Darren was just saying earlier regarding the fact that you go to a Comic Con now.
And there's so much Funko and Loungefly stuff. That's a lot of retailers that pretty much only sell that, or the majority of that, are now not going to be at these Comic Cons.
I mean, myself and Darren for many years, and a lot of you guys out there as well, the biggest con used to be London Film and Comic Con, run by Showmasters. I've been around Showmasters in one format or another for 30 plus years, maybe longer, when Jason first started in the early days of Grundy Park at Windmill Lane in Cheshunt. It was a very small event and that. And as he got bigger and bigger and expanded into, where he is now at Earls Court Olympia, that used to be an amazing con to attend. You'd walk around that con and you would never have enough money for everything you wanted to buy.
No, whereas I think the last couple of years, we've struggled to find something to buy. You kind of go and think, I'm going to buy something. Then you just end up paying too much for a can of Coke.
Yeah, literally. We've walked around, definitely the last two.
Yeah, and it's a shame because, like you said, that was the #1 con in the country by far. I wouldn't even put it in the top 10. No, it would almost be at the bottom. Yeah,
literally. Mainly because you're walking around now, and if you've got 100 stands there or 200 stands, 50 or 75 of them are selling Funko Pops and Loungefly bags.
Yeah, and it's a weird thing, isn't it? Because it's bad for those businesses if Funko do go bust, and it will be bad for the cons because there won't be as many stalls. But I think the problem is, I don't think those stalls are going to be replaced by ones selling other stuff. I think it's just going to make the cons more empty. Because ultimately, I would actually like those retailers to move aside and get more variety.
Or diversify with what they are actually selling.
I don't know if you'd actually replace those.
No.
I mean, I remember last London Film Comic Con, I spoke to quite a few retailers who were not making the money there.
Yeah, it wasn't even covering their tables.
Yeah, so why would they go back?
Yeah. And that's not just indicative of London Film and Comic Con. This is all cons, because we do a lot of cons as a group. So we see this and we talk to a lot of retailers, and they are all struggling. I mean, even a lot of the major manufacturers, I think people like Super 7 and that, they're sort of having difficulties and that. I mean, NECA are still pushing out a lot of product. How long that continues for, we really don't know. But
yeah, it's a tough one, isn't it? Because I think a lot of them are pushing out a lot of product, but there's only so many versions of Turtles you can buy and all that, and it gets awkward, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think obviously with the Mondo stuff, myself and Darren are definitely in the situation where you'd much rather not buy 6 shit things. You'd rather buy one
good thing.
Quality item like what Mondo turn out, that you really want and you're proud to display. I can buy the little bits and bobs all day long, but it's those really, really nice items, it's and I know people go on about the price of it, but there's a lot of sort of R&D, like research and development. There's also when it comes to licenses, like IPs, intellectual properties, and that, it's
which funnily enough, I was reading a thing about the Ghostbusters license a little while back. There's this company called Quarter Arcade that do little arcade machines about this big, and they were supposed to do the old real Ghostbusters arcade thing, which has been put on hold because of some licensing issues, just with the. I guess it's with Sony and the I think it's Data East. So maybe some sort of issue between the companies working together. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, so it's sort of gone a completely different thing there, but it just shows you licensing's an issue sometimes as well.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, at the end of the day, we've got to also be extremely grateful to people like Ghostcore and Sony in general that they don't jump up and down on us, for producing, a Moogly patch or a T-shirt or a Proton pack or something else,
absolutely.
They've been extremely supportive of us as individuals, haven't they?
I think the Ghostbusters franchise is very lucky in that regard, specifically, because I think I've heard of, is it Star Trek are quite strict with what they, I have some vague recollection of like a fan film getting taken down. I'm not a Star Trek person, so I may be completely wrong. I just have this vague recollection of like, whoever owns Star Trek's like just getting rid of a fan film. Like I said, I could be wrong on that, but I mean, because like my patch, Ghostcore could say, "Oh, you're not allowed to do that." Same with the Moogly fan club, they could say no.
Literally, but they're supportive of it.
So we're very lucky, but hopefully Funko don't go bankrupt. I mean, obviously, like I said, I'm not a fan of Pops, but I don't want to see a company go under. No, it's not just the fact that you lose these things, it's all the people that are employed and all that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's bigger ramifications, and the state of the world in general has not helped. Obviously, the tariffs and all that sort of stuff.
And as I say, I think people's money is harder earned at this moment in time. I think we've all felt the pinch a little bit this year, and it very much reminds me of some of the things that have come up and been offered to myself and Darren. It very reminds me very much of COVID times. Some of the are really shocked things come along, and I'm expecting that they're going to be offered for a lot more than what they're actually asking.
And it's funny because earlier this year, when I was trying to get the mortgage and all that sorted, I got a bit desperate for some money, and I was trying to sell my Ecto Glows. Which I think a set had gone on auction. It was either early this year or late last year. I sold for like $4,000 in America. I think I put one up at $2,000. Nothing. Nothing at all, which I think just goes to show again. And that was before the reissues had actually come out. I have to be honest, I've not actually kept track of the prices of the originals now the reissues are out. But I know I struggled to even get interest in them. And luckily, it worked out for me. I didn't want to sell them. I managed to sort it. So it was all good, but sorry, you were going to say...
No, I was going to say, I know your friend Tim's got a set for sale.
Yes, I've seen that.
And I think he's asking a very reasonable price for them. And he hasn't had a single sniff. People are sort of saying, "Oh, will you sell the odd one?" But when you have a set of Ecto Glows, the last thing you want to do is break them up.
And do you know what? I've had that before with other things I've sold at sets. When you get that, you split them. It's like, no, because you've just devalued the entire set. You know, if I take one out, it's almost devalued the rest of them. So
yeah, so it's difficult times. It's going to be one of those I think we're all going to just have to watch what's coming along. You know, in a way, we could all do. I mean, I think me and Darren sometimes think, oh God, please don't bring anything else out or release anything else. You know, because I think we all of us are guilty of having money tied up in pre-orders.
Yes, and I think that is actually an issue with the collectors industry as a whole. Is stuff goes up for pre-order so soon. I mean, obviously we've got the Mondos where you're pre-ordering them 9 months in advance. HasLab's normally a year in advance.
Yeah.
You know, Hot Toys figures go up for pre-order a year in advance amongst all the different shops. And the trouble is, if one of those shops goes under, and that's happened to a lot of collectors' shops, people lose their money.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
I don't know what to say about it really.
No, because by the time they actually go under, you'll be out of any chance of reclaiming your money. You know, as I say, we don't want it to be a doom and gloom talk, you know, but we're just sort of on about the state of collecting, not just Ghostbusters, but everything full stop, you know. It's, you know, it's a tricky time for everybody, and it'll be a telling time over the next 12 months, I think, to see. You
absolutely. I'll tell you what, I'm glad there isn't a HasLab or Ghostbusters HasLab this year, because I could have done without that expense.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe next year. Yeah, but well, to end on a lighter note, should we talk about what we'd want for a HasLab?
Wow, what would I want for a HasLab?
I've just sprung that on Chris. We haven't arranged that.
No, we haven't, and it's not really something that's difficult for me to think about. You know, I would like to see a real cracking set of Ecto goggles.
Yep.
A real nice set.
I think a lot of people would agree with you on that, and I think with the other props they've done, that is probably the most logical thing they would do, you would think. And
maybe they could double it up with a belt gizmo.
Yeah.
Because I think like that, again, it would be something quite nice. And these are things which are staples for most Ghostbusters. Yeah, and like I say, with everything else they've done, that is the most logical step. I know people are going to want Geiger meters and slime scoops. Probably too obscure for a company like Hasbro, in all honesty. Nice 2 in a box though. Slime scoop. No doubt it would be a lovely set, and we'd buy it. I just don't think they'd ever do it. No. A lot of people obviously want slime blowers. It ain't gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. So get your head around that. You're gonna have to ask till the cows come home. It's not gonna. Yeah, I think unless you've worn or at least seen one in person, I don't think you ever appreciate how big they are. No. Like they're so much bigger than you'd ever think. If you could literally imagine your proton pack box that come in 2.5 times the length of that, you know. I mean, just the gun. Yeah, ridiculous. It'd be ridiculous. So it's never going to happen. Yeah. So don't get your hopes up as regards that. So what would you be looking for, Darren? I'd definitely think goggles would be a good one. I'd love to see them do sort of like the proper display inside it, that sort of thing. I think the only other thing I'd like to see is a really good firehouse, and I don't mean a reissue of the Kenner one. I mean a proper one to go with the figures that we're getting with the Ecto and that. Yeah, to go with the Plasma series, or they could even do one to go with the smaller ones. But I'd like to see, but I'd like to see one to go with the Plasma series. Yeah, maybe unrealistic, but no, you say that. I mean, when we look at what Hasbro's done with some of the Star Wars sets, like the Cantina, you know, the sail barge, you know, things like that. It is doable. Yeah, and when you think about it, a firehouse playset is really going to be a few sides of plastic with some floors, and it's just the interior bits, you know. Because if you've done it like the classic firehouse set, you've got the front and the side. Yeah, you know, and the roof, floor, and two floors. You'd like it really like a glorified doll's house where you can open up, like hinged and open up, like the Lego set. Yeah, which the Lego set to me is probably like the perfect Ghostbusters toy, because it just opens up. There's so much detail in there and all that. The car fits inside. So yeah, it's probably. I think it'd be a big box, but they could flat pack it almost like IKEA furniture again, like I said. No, that would. I think that is something. Yeah, that Hasbro could
Yeah, and to me, that almost is what HasLab should be.
Yeah.
Something that big, like, as much as I want goggles, to me, and I'll say the same about 2 in the Box. I said it before and I'll say it again. I don't think the Trap and the PK were what HasLab's original thing was about. Their original thing, their first thing was a sail barge. It was like, what, as long as this table almost.
Yeah, well, I had one and sold it, yeah.
And that's what it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be massive things that they're never going to put in a shop.
Yeah.
And I think the Proton Pack comes on that. I'm not convinced the Trap and a PK meter comes on that. To me, they should have been
you should have been able to at retail.
And the same with goggles in reality. To me, Firehouse is really what comes in that category. And the Cantina, like you just said, you know, those sorts of things. But when it comes to a Force FX lightsaber, and I was one of their failed ones, to me that isn't a HasLab or what HasLab was supposed to be.
I think the trouble is as well, as we're sitting, like, you know, talking about it, is that the, you know, we're talking about things that, as you say, that should have been quite sort of exclusive.
Yeah.
And as I say, those are quite simple, basic items which really don't sort of fall into that category. So
yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so we'll see what happens next year. Hopefully we'll get. I'm sure there will be some sort of announcement on Ghostbusters Day.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm sure our Hasbro HasLab will probably ship as soon as this episode's over.
Yeah, we're more than likely,
oh, when can we get together and film that?
Yeah, wake up tomorrow and it'll be on the front door.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until then, we're ready to believe you.
Drain for Twinkies and coffee and a busted chain. No more donuts, no more caffeine rain. Just saving the city and feeling the strain. Ray's got a plan, but it's held with tape. Egon's experiments always misbehave. Venkman's flirting, but it's all escape. While the bank account looks like a dried up lake. The last of the petty cash went down the drain. For Twinkies and coffee and a busted chain. No more donuts, no more caffeine rain. Just saving the city and feeling the strain. Ray's got a plan, but it's held with tape. Egon's experiments always misbehave. Venkman's flirting, but it's all escape. While the bank account looks like a dried up lake. The last of the petty cash went down the drain. For Twinkies and coffee and a busted chain. No more donuts, no more caffeine rain. Just saving the city and feeling the strain. Janine shouting, the budget's toast. Ghost traps buzzing, but we're broke the most. No time to worry when there's a haunting post. But